From Television City in Hollywood, it's Card Shark. Here's the host of Card Shark, Bob Eubanks.
Thank you. Thank you, and hello, everybody. Welcome to Card Sharks. Glad you could be with us today because we have two very delightful contestants. They're in the middle of their second game. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But first of all, I want you to meet our two lovely dealers on Card Sharks, and here they are, Lacey Pemberton and Susanna Williams. This is it. Our champ is back. We'll see what happens today. Let's deal those cards out. We'll pick it up, like I say, from where we left off yesterday. Susanna will be dealing the red cards on the top row for our champion, Robert, while Lacey deals the cards on the bottom row for our challenger. And while they're doing that, let's meet our two card sharks. Here they come now.
Look, how do you do?
Boy, don't you look spiffy today.
Well, I've been out spending your money.
You've been out spending our money, I
Well,
see.
sure, I earned it.
Well, you look very nice. Yesterday you were a little collegiate. Today you look very spiffy.
Well, I'm older today.
Are you really? Older than yesterday?
Yes.
You're also richer. You got $8,800 as our champion so far.
Good for me. I love it.
In case there's anybody out there that does not know who you are, tell them.
I am Robert Brissett from the great metropolis of Menominee, Michigan. 8,000 sleepy souls. And I brought my wife with me because she didn't trust me here alone. But I've been married to her 50 and a half years.
I know why you take her everywhere you go. You don't want to kiss her goodbye.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yes, I do.
Well,
I
we're
like
glad
to
you're
kiss
here.
her hello, too.
Is that right? You're a nice man, and thanks for being here. And I want you to say hello to our challenge over here. Hi, Sandra. How are you?
Hi, my name is Sandra Chandler Smith. I live in Orange County with my husband, and we're expecting our first baby in 3 months.
You say, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Sandra Chancellor Smith.
Chandler Smith.
Chandler. That was your maiden name?
Chandler, yeah.
Chandler. So you're going to hang on to it.
Well, I didn't want to be Smith.
What's the matter being
Because-
Smith?
I thought no one would believe me. You know, if you go in a hotel and you go, oh, I'm Sandra Smith, they go, oh, yeah, okay.
You're absolutely right about that. Okay, I know you cut the cards before the show. Now, the object of our game is to work your way across the board by predicting whether each card is going to be higher or lower than the one preceding it. And as you can see, we had already started game number 2. Robert won the first game. Sandra, you got to win this game to stay in. It's the first player to win 2 games that wins the match and goes on to play the big money cards. So, we're ready. We're in game number 2, and this is the second high-low question of the game. Is that correct? Fine. Then, Robert, it's yours. We surveyed 100 women over the age of 65. This ought to be right down your alley, big guy. And we asked them, is it okay for a girl to go back to a guy's place after a first date? How many senior citizen women said that it's okay for a girl to go to the guy's place after a first date?
Right away, the average woman that age is going to be thinking about her girl going back to that guy's place.
Yeah.
And I don't think very many of them are going to okay that at all.
You don't?
No, I don't.
How many out of 100?
Out of 100, not over 22.
Pretty liberal, those 22 then, aren't they?
Yes,
okay.
they are.
Sandra, do you think the actual number is going to be higher or lower than 22? These are senior citizen women who said it's okay for a girl to go back to a guy's place after the first date.
Well, I know they're probably thinking of it as a positive. We'll go back to his place and we'll play dominoes or something like that. So I think it'll be higher than that.
That's how you got pregnant, wasn't it?
Nice girl.
The actual number of senior citizen women who said it's okay for a girl to go back to the guy's place after the first date is 25. You're right, it was just a little bit higher. All right, Sandra, now, the 5 is yours if you want it, or you can change it because you won the high-low question.
I'll change that card.
Well, change the 5. Okay, your new card now is a 10, and now you got to play.
Okay, lower.
Lower than the 10, it is a 4.
Higher.
Higher than the 4, it's a jack.
Lower.
Lower than the jack, it's a 4.
Higher.
Going on to win game number 2, yeah! The lady ready.
Good girl. She done good.
Boy, she did. Yes, indeed. All right.
Now we got one
Congratulations,
going.
Steve. Boy, they were just rolling real good for you that time. That's wonderful. So Robert has 1 game. Sandra has 1 game. That means we must play our tiebreaker game. And Susanna's going to deal out new cards now from the same deck. Only if you'll notice, only 3 cards in the tiebreaker game with a maximum of 3 high-low questions. Best of luck to you. Will it be Robert or will it be Sandra who plays the big money cards? Let's find out. Sandra, for you. We surveyed 100 bachelors, and we asked them, would you trust a divorced woman who admitted she had been unfaithful to her husband? How many bachelors said that they would trust her anyway?
Well, I believe men have kind of big egos, and if you're going out with a guy, he'd probably think, oh, she would be faithful to me, because they think that they were so great. So I think that number will probably be around 65.
65 out of 100 bachelors said they would trust her anyway. Let's see what Robert says. Robert, higher or lower than 65?
I was never a bachelor going out with that
You
kind
were
of a
born
woman.
married, weren't you?
Yes.
I knew that.
Yeah, she raised me.
She did.
Right. But I think it's a lower figure.
Lower than 65? Bachelors said they would trust her anyway? The actual number of bachelors who would trust a divorced woman who admitted she had been unfaithful is 27. You're right, Robert, it was lower. Okay, Robert, tiebreaker game. Win this game, you play the big money cards again, and here's your base. It's an 8. You can change it.
I'll change it.
I don't blame you. The 8 turns into a 10.
That's lower.
Lower than the 10. Your card is a 6.
Higher.
For the championship, if it's higher than a 6, yes!
Bingo!
There you go again, Robert. Oh, God. Well, Sandra, you end up with $100. We have some nice prizes for you. Good luck with the new baby. You're a very pretty lady, and thanks for being with us, okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Come here, champ. Boy, you got all dressed up today, and now we're going to play the big money. Turn around, I want to see you.
Sure.
You do look spiffy. You really look nice. We're going to give him a chance to win thousands of dollars. Maybe we can get him to buy a new coat if he wins all that money. We'll see what happens when we come back right after this. Robert, you've done it again. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Bob.
Now, you know what happens? Every time you win more than $200, your wife comes running out here and checks your heart and your blood pressure and makes sure you're still alive.
Well, I hope so.
Well, let's see if you can't win a lot more, okay?
Good.
You're over $8,000 already, and the money you've won so far is yours to keep no matter what happens. But now we're going to give you new money to bet with. We'll start you on the bottom line with $200. You then bet your way across that bottom line by calling off high and low cards. When you get to the next row, we add another $400 to your betting money, and you bet your way across that line. Remember, minimum bets are $50 each time until you get to the top row. At that time, you must bet at least half of your dollars. And also, you'll have the opportunity to change one card on each line by choosing one of the extra cards, spare cards, that Lacey's dealing out over there. So you understand the rules? I know you do.
Yes, sir.
You've been here a lot of times. Come
love
on, let's
it.
make these cards work for you. Ready?
It's about time.
Give him $200, please. Good luck, Robert.
Okay.
Turn that $200 into thousands, and your wife will come out here and attack your body. Yee! All right, here we go, Robert. It's a jack.
Oh, okay. 150 lower.
150 lower than the jack. The card is a 6. You now got $350.
$200 higher.
200 higher. Remember, if another 6 comes up, it's a push in the big money cards. All right, 200 higher than the 6. It's a jack. Over there. 550.
400 lower.
400 lower than the jack. Your card's a 6 again. Jacks and 6s for you. You got 950. Give you another $400. You now have 1350. The 6 is your base, and you can play it or change it.
I'm going to keep it for
Gonna keep
now.
the 6. Okay.
And I'm going to bet $450 that it's higher.
$450 higher than the 6. It is higher. Yes. $1,800.
Change that card,
Change
number
that
2.
card. Okay, the 10 now becomes a 10 again. It's all right. 1,800.
$400 lower.
$400 lower than the 10. The card is an 8. Yes. Can't change it. You've already changed on this line. You got 2,200.
$200 higher.
200 higher than the 8. It is a king. Yes. And look what you have. You have $2,400. You got to bet at least $1,200.
$2,400 lower.
2,400. All of it, Robert.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
All right, Robert.
Come on,
Yeah. Boy, she's really happy now, isn't she? Good grief. Robert, so far you've won $13,700 on card set.
Oh, I love it. That's better than small change.
Yes, it is better than small change. We'll be back in just a moment to meet a new challenger for this very nice man right after this. Woo-woo, is that what you said? Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Bob. I'm Shelley Forrester. I'm from Orange County, California. I'm a student at USC, and I'm graduating in May with a degree in economics.
Well, congratulations
Thank
to you.
you.
It's nice to have you with us on Card
Thank
Show.
you.
Did you cut the cards?
Yes, I did.
You did. All right. Then Susanna will be dealing out the cards, and we'll start from a brand new deck, by the way, and we'll start this match between you and Robert right now. Let's go to our first high-low question. Robert, we surveyed 100 men who subscribe to Playboy magazine. You know what that is, don't you, Robert?
I heard of
Okay.
it.
And we asked them, Robert, would you subscribe to Playboy if there were no nude pictures? How many men said that they would subscribe anyway?
I don't know what else they'd find in that stupid magazine, so I don't think there'd be many of them. I think they all buy it to look at those bodies.
Well, what's the matter with that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have time or the money for Playboy magazine, but there are lots of guys that do. But if
You
they
just won $13,000. What are you telling me you don't have time for Playboy?
I'm going to have more fun doing something else.
Oh. I'm not going to ask, folks. No way.
I don't.
How many out of 100 said they would?
I don't think over 35 of them would take it if they didn't have the naked
35
women.
out of 100 said they would subscribe even if there were no Playboy pictures or nude pictures. Shelley, higher or lower than 35?
Well, that's an interesting question because my boyfriend's father subscribes to Playboy, and I know he gets it to look at the girls. Now, my boyfriend says that he reads it because he likes reading the articles. So,
Then tell him to get Popular Mechanics.
well, that might be a good idea. I'm going to say it's higher.
Higher than 35. The actual number of men who would subscribe to Playboy even if there were no nude pictures is 28. No, not higher. It was just a little bit lower. Okay, Robert, here's your base card in this game. Robert, it is a deuce. It's a dame. Higher than the deuce, it's a 6.
Higher.
Higher than the 6, your card is a 3. No! That puts you back to your base of 2, and Shelley gets a free shot at the card. Shelley, you didn't win the high-low, so you can't change it. You got to play off this card, and it's a 3. Good card.
Higher.
Higher than the 3, your card is a... Whoa! Oh, mean card.
Tough deck.
My goodness, rough. You cut these cards, huh? Whew, are they tough? Shelley, I've got a question for you. Shelley, we surveyed 100 top business executives across the country. We asked them, is your secretary a man? How many top business executives said their secretary is a man?
Well, based on the fact that I think most top executives are probably men, I think that most of their secretaries are going to be women. So I'm going to say that that's... Wait.
How many top executives said their secretary is a man?
Oh, that's going to be a really low number. I would say 10.
10? Robert, will it be higher or lower than 10?
I think along the same lines that this pretty lady does, and I'm going to say lower.
Lower. The actual number of top executives whose secretary is a man is 0. 0. It was definitely lower. And Robert, again, you have the control, and there's your deuce. I know you don't want to change that.
Higher.
Higher than the 2. The card is a 2. Woo! My goodness. Shelley, you got a free shot. You got a 3. Here we go.
Higher.
Higher than the 3. It's a 7. Play a
I'm
freeze.
gonna freeze.
Freeze on there. She's going to protect her slight lead, to say the least. Okay, another question for you. And this one is for Robert. We surveyed 100 married men, and we asked them, do you and your wife sleep in separate beds? How many men said they do sleep in separate beds, Robert?
I'm going to have to average that out as to how long they've been married.
What does that have to do with it?
After a certain number of years, one bed just ain't enough for 2 people. The bones ache, and you got to spread them out a little. So I'm going to say that out of 100 married men, you're going to find 40 of them sleeping separate beds.
40. 40 said they sleep in separate beds. Shelley, higher or lower than 40?
I don't know any married people that sleep in separate beds.
Well, turn to your right there.
Well, I'm going to say it's lower.
Lower than 40? The actual number of men who said they and their wives sleep in separate beds is 12. You're right, Shelley. It was lower. All right, Shelley, you froze on the 7. You can change that card now.
I want to change that card.
And the 7 is now... Oh, boy, where'd you get these cards? It's a 7.
I'm going to say higher.
Higher than the 7, it is Jack. Yes, higher.
I'm going to say lower.
Lower than the Jack. Your card is a 5.
Ooh, I'm going to say higher.
Higher. If you're right, you win game number 1. It is. And Shelley, you're the winner of game number 1. That's $100 in your pocket. And remember, it's the first contestant to win 2 games that plays the big money cards. We must pause. We'll be right back with more Card Sharks right after this. So don't go away. Sharks, we're ready to start our second game. Shelley won the first game. Robert, you got to win this game to stay in the match. And Susanna's dealing out cards right now from the same deck, so let's start this game. And it goes to you, Shelley, the first question. Here it is. We surveyed 100 people, and we asked them, if an illegal alien wins a state lottery, should he be allowed to keep the money? How many people said an illegal alien should be allowed to keep the money?
Well, I think you should be able to keep the money, just because if we go to Canada or something like that and you play the lottery, you should be able to win. So I'm going to say that should be a relatively high number, about 85.
They didn't mind taking his money, did they? All right, 85. Robert, higher or lower than 85?
An illegal alien in this country really don't deserve too much of anything. I think you should earn it honestly. And I'm going to say that number is going to be considerable lower.
Lower, you say? Actual number of people who said an illegal alien should be allowed to keep the money is considerably lower, 42. You're right, Robert. Now, Robert, you've got to win this game in order to tie it up. Let's see if you do. Here's your card. It's a 9. Player change.
Change that
Change
card.
that 9. Your new card is a 9 again.
In that event, I've got to go lower.
Lower than the 9. We're going to burn this deck. Woo! It's a 9. No! Where'd you get these?
I don't know, Bob.
Where did I get the guy that shuffled them?
Shelley, you get a free shot at the cards. If it's a 9, I'm leaving, you know? Yeah! See you, folks. And you got to play, Shelley. If another 9 comes up, I demand a recount.
I'm going to say lower.
What'd you say?
Lower.
Lower than the 9. Your card is a king. No. We could be here until day after tomorrow with this game. You know that. Okay, let's go again. Another high-low question for Robert. We surveyed 100 single women, and we asked them, would you marry a man who insisted his mother live under the same roof with you? How many single women would marry this turkey anyway?
Oh, boy. Well, you're going to find some of them that are so desperate to get married they'd put up with anything.
Is that right?
But
how many then?
Not too many. 21.
21. Will it be higher or lower than 21? Single women who would marry him anyway, Shelley?
I think it's going to be lower.
Lower than 21? The actual number of single women who would marry a man who insisted his mother live with them is 30. Not lower, it was higher. Again, Robert. Now, you can change that 9.
Change that 9?
Yes, indeed. The 9 now becomes a 10.
Lower.
Lower than the 10, it is a king. Whoa. Shelley gets a free shot off the 9.
Higher.
Higher than the 9, it is a queen.
Lower.
Lower than the queen, it's a 6.
Higher.
Higher than the 6, it's a king.
Lower.
Lower for the championship. Yes, there you are. We have a new champion. How about that? Congratulations, Shelley.
Thank you.
Robert, I want to tell you something, okay?
Right.
I've been doing game shows for about 20 years, and you are one of the most delightful human beings I've ever met. Thank you for being with us. $13,700. Goodbye, my friend. We'll see you again, okay? Come here, Shelley. Right around here. This is our new champion, and we're going to give her a chance to win thousands of dollars when she plays the big money cards right after these words. Play the big money cards when we come back tomorrow. Until then, I'm Bob Eubanks and Lacey Pemberton, Susanna Williams, Shelley, Gene Wood, and the gang saying, see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Get your game and you know you're at GSN. Here's the new game that's filled with loads of fun. Get your game. Everybody, get your game. It's in the cards to play.